Here we go. Okay, how about now? Are you ready to go now?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right,
There we
cool. All right, so Tibor of Schuller Hydronics. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad yourself.
I'm good, I'm good. I can see already that mechanical room in the background there.
hmm
So this is your basement. You just gave me the tour of it.
hmm
Um, that is super impressive.
So Matt, this thing over here has been kind of like a hydronic wet dream, if you want to call it something, because everybody I knew kind of got involved and helped me out with it. From you, obviously, with the boiler, Shark Bite, my partner, even my father was involved in doing the video for the promotion for the Evo packs and everything we shot here and whatnot. So the whole thing, I want to say it's mine in the sense that it belongs to me, but it was a pretty big team effort in a sense. So
No, it
do
looks
you?
amazing. So something you said before was all these custom homes that we always walk into. All these homeowners are splurging on their wine cellars, and you
Yeah, with
said
the glass and everything else. And that's where I
yeah,
got the idea for this, because some of those guys put like, $500,000, a couple of $1 million of wine in their wine cellars. And if I put that much wine in it, I'm going to drink it all. So that's
yeah. Now instead you're just gonna be playing around with pumps
been in
and the
my
boilers and
situation.
shutting
I
off
figure I
top
might as well put
knobs. All right, so let's
exactly.
talk about this mechanical room then. Can you move the camera a little bit so that we can see, like branch it over a bit?
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
well, this particular computer doesn't really allow for that because it's right on the screen, but I can like walk it around and we can do the tour that way.
Yeah, you want to try and do that?
Yeah.
All right, let's try that.
So let's start with your contribution to the whole thing right there.
So
The
that's
boiler.
our Lochinvar FTXL boiler. What size was that again?
This was a 501.
Right, okay. So 500,000
Yeah.
BTUs. Perfect.
Yes, exactly. And then over here on the side of it, you got your tappings coming off of it, which is, as you can see right here, 2-inch pipe.
Yeah.
And that's the main boiler loop that comes into a Thermal 2000 tank, which also acts as a buffer tank. But
hmm
between the tank and the boiler, we have the tapping coming down to the heat exchanger. I don't know if you can see that well.
That's
There's the
okay.
heat exchanger behind the
Find the expansion tank. Yeah.
expansion tank. So you get the heat coming off the boiler, and then it goes back up, and it goes right into the 3 zones above us. So we've
Okay,
got
nice.
a third floor porch, 580 square feet.
Yeah.
We have a backyard that's going to have a little porch as well. It's going to be about 200 square feet. And then we're going to have the driveway, which is going to be about 1,200, 1,300 square feet with the walkway.
Okay.
And that all
So
comes off the top of the pipes. You can see everything's already prepped, set up there. The one on the third floor is up and running, but the outside landscaping stuff is not done yet.
so when did you finalize this project?
So the project got finalized. Essentially, I sat down. Let me go sit over there. So
Yeah.
Claudia and I started planning this house about, I would say, a good 3 years ago. It took us 8 months to do the full design. And I let her design everything when it came to the cosmetic, the kitchen, everything else. But the mechanics, I knew I wanted all these things right off the bat. So when
Sure.
we did the actual plans for the house and I went to the city, I didn't even have ductworks. They approved it just on the hydronic design itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just on the hydronic itself.
just the hydronics. All you need is heating. They didn't even ask about air conditioning, fresh air, nothing. It was all hydronic heating. On purpose, I didn't put any gas burning appliances in, so no gas dryer, no gas cooktop, no gas oven, no fireplace or nothing like that. And therefore, there was no, fresh air, makeup, HRV, ERV required.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So okay, tell me about some of the stuff Schuler Hydronics is doing. You got thermostats, you got low loss headers. What are you guys getting into?
So the main thing that we're into is obviously we want to design a system that works. And if you see this system, and all the other systems we've done, there's a lot of similarities between them because it's the same type of piping, it's the same type of setup for boilers, the buffer tanks, and then we have on top of the design, we have the parts that go along with it. So we have our thermostat. I'm going to show you one on the wall right here.
Yeah.
So if we come this way, right behind me, we got a thermostat for the basement.
And that's a Schuller manufactured thermostat, right? That's your own brand. Yeah.
So the way it works is you see it set to 20.
Perfect. Yeah.
But it goes to 21.
Okay.
So it overshoots it by 1 degree always, but it doesn't turn on until it goes down to 19. So it allows the basement zone to run for 3 degrees. So it goes from 19, 20, 21 before it actually shuts off, not a half a degree. So it doesn't short cycle the pumps. Because then you see, here's the thermostat for the basement. Then if you come over here.
So that's the same idea as the control for the boiler. The boiler has like an offset and differential, right? So you can go a certain amount of degrees above your set point, and then it falls a certain amount of degrees below your set point. So to not short cycle the boiler, right? It allows it to modulate up and modulate down.
That's exactly where I got the idea for it.
Yeah. Oh, you're stealing all of our ideas. Perfect.
Exactly. Come on. Why do you think we like the boilers? And also for example, the Thermal 2000 tanks also have an offset that you can play with as well. And you can go anywhere from 10 all the way up to 40 degrees.
Nice.
And it's in Fahrenheit. So that thermostat we were talking about speaks to this Takeo controller, which in turn talks to this pump over here at the bottom, which kind of goes up there in the manifold. You can kind of see it in behind there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now whenever that thermostat comes on, like you described how the boiler works, it does the exact same thing for that pump. So that pump now has to run for 3 degrees as opposed to every half a degree, like with most thermostats.
Right. Perfect. Right. And it's all about saving the short cycling of the entire system, right? It's not just about one particular part. It's the entire system that you're trying to make work together, right? And it's all moving up together. It's all moving down together, right?
Exactly. And at the same time, we really don't want to short cycle the boiler because we want to respect that boiler. It's a beautiful piece. It's a nice piece. We don't want to stress it unnecessarily by turning on and off a billion times. So we do that with the thermostat. But at the same time, going back to what I started with the designs, we also design the heating for the house so that all of those thermostats, the basement, the main floor, the garage, everything talks to the Takeo controllers, which pulls from the tank. And the boiler has no communication whatsoever with those thermostats or those Takeo boxes. The only thing it talks to is the tank itself. So when the temperature in the tank drops, then the boiler is asked to turn on.
Perfect. Now, you wouldn't need an outdoor reset for that then, would you? Or do you have it on there?
The outdoor reset, we have the outdoor sensor on, but if you design your system properly, then there's a lot of things that you don't need to put into it. And the outdoor reset is really not necessary in this situation because I'm also using it to do the hot water for the house. That tank also doubles as a hot water tank.
Right.
People say that the tank's a little bit overkill or it's a little bit on the pricier side of things. But if you use it for both the hot water and also you use it for the buffer tank, it's 2 tanks in one.
Yeah, it makes sense. I agree with that. Yeah.
And then,
go ahead.
No. I just wanted to bring you to this. So that was one of the parts that we make the thermostat. And then we have our own snow melt controller as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this thing we designed so that it gives a little bit more usability. So it hooks up to the internet. You can use it on your phone wirelessly, so you don't even have to come down here. But at the same time, it also checks the AccuWeather, and you can preset it so that if there is, let's say, snowfall happening in the next 3-4 hours, they'll actually turn on 3-4 hours before the snow comes, because we know roughly the pad outside in 3-4 hours is up to temperature. So once the snow is falling, it already starts to melt. So this whole thing of idling and everything else, if you sized everything properly, there's no need for it.
Yeah, nice. It always sounds like a perfect system.
Yeah, and well, I don't know about perfect. It's always
It's
a
close.
work in progress. But if we check, like, let me show you what I got here.
Do you
So
lock do you close those doors ever and lock the kids out, or are those doors always open?
no, these doors are usually closed,
Yeah.
but I'll sit over there, turn off the lights in the room, leave the lights on in the boiler room, and sit and have a beer or a glass of wine with Claudia.
And just look at the boiler room.
Watch everything work.
So you guys are out there, right? You're working, you're getting jobs, you're working on custom homes. How are you guys, winning these jobs over some of your competition?
Since we started manufacturing the thermostat, the Wi-Fi snow melt controller, we have hydraulic separators, we have now we have our own set of what is it, hoses to make it easier to tie the system together. We do the design. We started attracting other installers. So we're doing the designs for them, we're doing the setup for them and everything else. And we even started working with York of Wolseley on their installers because there was a kind of like a disconnect over there between the engineer, the installer, the supplier, and what actually needs to be done in the house. So we
Okay.
usually we have been in the last year actually taking the information that the homeowner or the builder has, what the designer has done, what the installer would like to do in a way where it's cost effective and it works. And we give them a particular design, something similar to what we do. And then we try to use as many of our products as we can.
And you're using your basement as a showroom, right? Like to bring
I
other
use this. I
contractors
use
in,
this whole house as
walk
a
it through.
showroom. I used it for the manifolds. I used it everything you see in here. If you want, we could even go upstairs and I can show you one of the manifolds because we put it behind doors, so you can open it and take a look at it any time.
Okay, next time we'll do that.
Okay,
We're not going to
next
stay on
time.
here forever.
Okay.
Um,
So the house essentially is a template for what can be done.
okay, no, that's amazing. So what do you think about working with the FTXL, with the lock and bar FTXL boiler? What are
The
your thoughts
boiler is
on it?
amazing.
Reviews?
Uh, it's you know what? It's an efficient boiler. With this design and this setup, it works amazing. My gas bills are like so. Look at it this way: when we were building, we had to use electric heat to heat the house.
Right.
Okay, so for 1 month of electric heating, November, for example, was about $900.
Okay.
December
Yeah.
was like 950. January was like 975. As it got colder, it just kept going up. Since we put the boiler and everything else, it's like $75 with the snow melt on the roof on for 2 weeks straight because I had to leave it on to dry all the grout and everything so it wouldn't freeze.
Did you say $75?
Yes, for 1 month yeah,
That's ridiculous.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So
Okay.
that's a testament of how good the boiler is.
Well, then you're certainly using that boiler and the whole system properly. So good for you. You designed it right.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So my goal here is just to do an introduction for the two of us, right? Get the Schuller name out there, talk about your system because you have an amazing system out there. I didn't want to go too long, so I think we've gone a pretty lengthy time, and we definitely dived into quite a bit of stuff. So,
Well, if you let
um,
me, I'll continue talking forever.
oh, I
So
know you
you
can talk forever. Actually, I wanted to tell a funny story about you. So I saw you at the Toronto Zoo. What was it, 3 weeks ago?
nah, not even 2 weeks ago. Not
Two
even. Yeah,
weeks
it was
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, so saw you at the Toronto Zoo 2 weeks ago, said hi, and before I knew it, you had a whole piping layout and system up put up on your phone. I was like, what is going on here? And my family's like walking away, and your wife just says to you, leave him
Stop.
alone.
Yeah.
Let him go spend time with his children.
Claudia's
So
been good at keeping me in check because if not, I usually get all excited, especially when it comes to
no,
this
it's
stuff.
hilarious. You have an amazing passion for it, so it's unbelievable.
Well, the thing
Um,
is, when you're this close to it, and I've been working so hard at it for the last little while, it's I'm gonna have to go on a long holiday. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, okay, awesome. Thank you for chatting with me. Thanks for showing me your basement. And I'm going to tag your company name when we send out this video on YouTube. All right. So you'll probably be seeing some traffic, hopefully.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Good night. See ya.
See ya.